Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to an exciting and everything and amazing Propagandacast with me, host from Pearl Dane, the one, the only Master Propaganda hero of Defender of the Fatherland, officer glorious, wondrous, near magical Propagandacast here for 1v1 on Ploiesti Outskirts. In the north it is Basset, fighting for the Dead Army in the Soviet Union, Commander Stalin, the 1st Guards Mechanized Corps, tasked with poking through the German lines and push onwards towards Berlin. Here with armored assault tactics, featuring the T-35, radio intercept, vehicle repair training, eyes to heavy tanks, and the L2 storming attacks in the south. It is Rajan, fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Here with the, let's just go with the 5th SS Panzer Division Viking here with the strategic reserves, featuring assault gunners, the Panzer IV Model J, breakthrough packages, the mobile observation posts, and the Tiger Ray. So assault gunner MD42 start here with I think intent to go for several of them, versus double conscripts, double units, and certainly this map is probably one of those better maps to make good use of the assault gunners. So off to the races we are. As always, a big hearty thanks to my Patreon supporters, wonderful people, one and all. Helps keep the Propagandacast going. Other people can join the ranks by Patreon. They can donate via PayPal. Links are in the description. If you're in the market for company C, you can do so the link in the comments. Use the code STUK3G as written there. Knowledge in your comment, like, share, subscribe. So, crunching right past the MD42E through the mystical arts of the MD42's kind of bugged, as I will explain, and then some will still ask, what is the bug? Because apparently they will literally only hear the word bug and then like just white noise happens. But the bug here is that the MG42 does not track its target properly and at times can result in units just walking right past it because it will not fire for like a second or two. It's also a bit erratic. Sometimes it'll work fine, but other times you're just going to be staring in complete utter disbelief as the MG42 gunner apparently suffers like some kind of stroke or aneurysm. Anyways, enough about that. Third comes with Basset. We got 2 assault gunner squads ready for Rajan, equipped with the MP40, the machine pistol in the 40. As opposed to some of them might have been the predecessors, the MP38. Fun fact. Then up north here, Pioneers grabbing the point T, heading southwards there. We're looking at like a 3rd assault grenadier squad. As typically these builds go for like 1 MU42 and then 3 assault grenadier squads, skipping the infantry company and relying on the hard, fearsome shot power of the assault grenadiers. You got tech on the way here for... Right, wait, okay, 2 assault grenadiers only. Okay, that's a bit of an interesting deviation there. Bold. Very bold. So then we've got Cons pushing free for Basset up north here. Rajan skirmishing with engineers here. I'm not going straight for the car plant, going for the victory point. We've got the troops moving in with the assault at range, since the MP40s, of course, in-game do not have particularly effective or long range. In fact, their range sharply drops off in terms of DPS, which can occasionally actually lead to the assault units having some trouble even at closer ranges, because the squad disperses itself in a bad manner. You'll have like some doing a lot of damage, but then the others go for like 2 meters away, and at which point they suddenly can't hit the broadside of a barn from the inside. So, a little fun fact there. So I'm not entirely sure what Rajan's plan is. Is it like Panzer Grenadiers? I guess it has to be. Which is not a bad idea either, honestly. But I'd say the way he's going about it is certainly a bit unusual. Samex in the south, Basset getting ready to resist another German assault here from Rajan, the German army. There you go, Panzer Grenadier equipped with the Sturmgewehr 44, or the MP44 is also known before that, forgot its official designation. So Telemine Seops looking to catch any Soviet armor with the high explosive power of the Telemina. Assault was catching the Yeti, it's got flamethrower timmering in there, mine stopped. Good work there by Rajan. Panzer Grenadier squad almost done. Assault grenadiers here. Bit of an awkward spot. Need to rush down to assist the flanking machine in there. Think, got another squad for that purpose exactly. Panzer Grenadier ramming here for Rajan. It's the 5th SS Panzer Division Viking, initially division made up of Scandinavian volunteers. It would, after a certain point, though, be turned into more Germanic division. Though there's still some Scandinavian volunteer elements here and there, but they were considerably smaller in element, and the vast majority belonged to the 11th SS Panzer Grenadier Division Nordland. Fun fact. Panzer Grenadier arriving, engineers being suppressed. He's routed. Panzer squad they're suppressed. Panzer pushing forward to their Sturmgewehr. Of course, got a bunker grenade. Actually, yeah, pretty good time to pop a grenade. There's the chance the Panzer could be caught on the retreat path. And Basset here almost suffers a wipe, but apparently the lux of socialism smile upon him and he avoids a total wipe here. Panzer right here. May want to put back these assaulters from reinforcements. If he's planning a bunker, which he is, pulling them back for healing would also be a very smart move there for Rajan. So, send security here, no light to mechanized company. Maybe he's planning some additional Panzergrenadier. We shall see what Rajan is planning. We got the Spawn Company up here for Basset and the Red Army.
Enemy forces are capturing our supplies.
Initially, a lot of the SS unit of volunteer, air quote, well, some of them were actually volunteers when it came to the Scandinavian ones, were typically formed up in other smaller groups before they were finally sort of moved to the SS divisions and so on. So, little fun fact there. On top of that, Northeast Tank Command there on the way for Basset, building up there. Constantly moving forwards. Clementine's catching the Pioneer, pushing them back.
To steal our sector.
Solgren is saying northwards there. Northern point being seized by the conscripts. Solgren is punching saying southwards here. Ground 17 years. Sandbags as well. Basset doing good work. Far up north, conscripts advancing on the Calf Point and the northern fuel point, threatening to cut off Rajan's fuel fairly efficiently. Not like to make a nice company. Instead, we got another Panzergrenadier squad. Meanwhile, no sign of any immediate anti-tank weapons. I do feel like it's a bit risky here for Rajan. I mean, I do like his commitment to assault troops, but that shouldn't necessarily come at the cost of an anti-tank weapons. Like, normally in these situations, if I were to go for a similar build, I'd at least make sure I have the munitions for Panzerschrecks. But it seems like Rajan is just going to rely on the Telemines and just hope that works out, which is fairly ambitious, in particular things like placing one Telemine in front of his base. Like, I'm not saying it couldn't work out, but it's not what I'd go for, personally. Up north here, sort of patrol, they got infantry to support. He will need a light mechanized company, particularly as the anti-aircraft tower, which Basset is about to hit him over the head with. Like a large book about Karl Marx. In the Calf Point, the engineers back move there to defend it, or at least try to defend it. Panzer catching the Kampfgewehr, flanking in there with a Sturmgewehr 44, ripping through the front of it. Panzergrenadiers tend to be in the game a fairly solid counter versus conscripts. As they gain veterancy, they become very good at dealing with them. North here, half tracks surrounding for do good we do get into the uphill rounds. Not a bad choice here. Problem is the timing of it. I like the idea, but again, as you can see, the half track is just getting a lot of free damage, and the infantry are going to really do any serious damage in return, which rather undercuts it. It almost works though too, which is, I'd say, the more impressive part. He almost got away with it fully. He still has to retreat, and the half track is kind of pushed back, but yeah, I would expect to just lose the machine on the spot there. Certainly would have recommended doing it at all again. So, he's going straight for tier 3, by the way. Rajan is possessed by a devil. It would appear. Like, he is absolutely going in there. Just where most others would not go, it would appear. Panzergrenadier in the center against the engineers and controlling forwards here. Continues focusing down, hopefully. That said, heavy cavalry may want to get out of that because the flamethrowers do get a bonus against that. So I'm not entirely sure what Rajan intends to go for after this, because again, he's got no anti-tank weapons. And I'm guessing he's just intending to line incendium armor piercing rounds as the counter to the anti-aircraft half-track. Otto, yeah, couldn't we like get some anti-tank guns to deal with this? Nah, we just use some machining gewehr with incendium armor piercing rounds. I can't help but feel that's a bit, ambitious. Yeah, well, you know, we want panzers faster. Yeah, I guess we do. So we need to treat those panzers before they get absolutely murdered. This is, definitely on a unique approach here by Rajan. Definitely a unique approach. Like, if he had better map control, what he's doing, I could sort of, like, you know, get behind. But the problem is, he didn't quite get off a strong early map here versus opponent, but yeah, Rajan is a believer. He is a believer to the contrary against all current evidence. And you fall to the up, and he can actually pop the interceptor. This time, though, Basset, though, has learned his lesson. Apparently, the driver hasn't, and pops off here. Desperately trying to get out of there before it gets turned into flaming Swiss cheese. Assault is in the center. North here, we get the skirmishing. The Panzers on their own well, they need more support. I mean, they are Panzer Grenadiers, a tough bunch of bastards with assault rifles, but even they have their limits when they're up against a large platoon-sized formation with a maximum machine gun backing it up. So, I'm curious to see what Rajan's going to go for next. Like, common sense, under these circumstances, at least for me, would dictate a Stug 3G. Like, you're rushing it, you got no anti-tank weapons, your first choice should always be the Stug 3G. This is Rajan, and so far he's kind of like, already thrown a lot of common sense to the wind. So, like, I don't really have an idea as to what Rajan here is thinking. There you go, Assault's got wiped, should replace him. There you go. Incendium Swans being unleashed upon the troops here. Straight into the second Maxim, as Basset, of course, realizes Maxims against this kind of build are kind of solid. A good read here, tactically by Basset. Field gone out as well. He's probably starting to get the idea that his opponent is probably going to rush out some kind of armor against him. But again, the question here is, what armor? What is Rajan's plan here? But there you go. Panzergrenadier Squads 2 moving in against the conscripts in the center, striking the assault rifle. The conscripts are definitely on a not particularly great position for that to survive for long. And there you go. They do retreat. Half-tanks moving in to block them up. We do get a third Panzergrenadier Squad here for Rajan. He is truly committed to the power of the Panzergrenadier. Unlike so many Wehrmacht players, he believes. And in this regard, I do think there's actually something to it. I personally also think the Panzers would be quite good, in particular in some numbers. They are a bit more expensive, but I typically find once they get going, they do reward that faith. And there we go. Panzerschreck surprise, half-track kaput. Maximum press within 32. Suddenly, Rajan still doesn't really hold a lot of the map, but he doesn't have to deal with the light vehicle anymore, and he does have a bunch of Panzer Grenadiers. Which would certainly not take lightly. But still, this is, again, highly unorthodox. Which needs to be has some interest. Panzer was then used in Simcat coming up here for Basset, a full-flung troop there of Soviet infantry, ready to withstand the might of these SS Panzergrenadier. Also, a fun fact about the Waffen-SS, one bit that typically doesn't get talked a lot much, in at least most, shall I say, common historical points there when talked about the Waffen-SS, but this was the fact that most SS divisions, not all of them, for quite some time, actually had larger infantry regiments compared to the regular Heer counterparts, or army counterparts. It's typically something most sources will not talk about unless they get really specific, but basically after the losses in Stalingrad and North Africa, basically most army divisions, like free up enough manpower and all that, lost a battalion of infantry in each regiment. The Waffen-SS did not, so they actually had a significantly large amount of strength there, which typically gets overlooked a lot there, but I think it is a very crucial element that to a degree help explain why the Waffen-SS at times could appear successful, because again, they just had more infantry to work with. Panzers were wiped. Obviously not great there for Rajan. North here, Panzers going straight for the conscripts of the Maxim. Could be an Ostwind here now. He could also, of course, go for the Panzer IV Model J. Grenade assault here, straight in the engineers, pushing them back. Almost wiped them out. Machine and Gewehr routed. But they did also suffer typically higher losses compared to the their Heer counterparts, because they typically were a bit more aggressive and fanatical, some might say, which again tended to result in higher casualties. So yeah, they had the resources to go, of course, with it, but again they really bled out in a lot of cases. Some divisions were more notorious for it than the others. South East Maxim holding up. Ostwind there halfway done for Rajan. T-Fed 46 meanwhile on the way there. He's going to need a Panther 4 for that. He was clearly not expecting his opponent with most of the map would be able to hit him with a tank in. Certainly around the 30-minute mark is where typically consider going for a Panther 4 or again a Stug before an Ostwind. Like if it was 10-minute mark, you go for an Ostwind, sure, but 13-40-minute mark, you really want a Panther 4 or a Sturmgeschütz. There you go, flak Panzer out for Rajan. Maximus the Panzergrenadier here. Quickly forced to vacate the premises. By the might of the Sturmgewehr 44, another Maschinengewehr for Rajan. Is clearly not expecting the T-3476, which is going to be spectacular. Also, by the way, note, get smoke grenades here from the breakthrough packages. Little handy addition there for the Panzergrenadier up north here. Panzer team is the conscripts. T-34 racing through here, the center. Ostwind falling back as it realizes someone did not do due diligence and reconnaissance. It told me it's about no Russian panzers! But don't tell me he's gonna make the telemine work outside of his face. No, he didn't. I've just been a bit like, yeah, no. Really, he actually made that work. But he didn't. He didn't. Phew. Feel like Rajan there should be rewarded for that. Like that. That's just... I feel like that would undermine a bit what I'm trying to teach you a bit too much. Bit too much. Trying to get in the center. Panzer moving forward. Again, we've got the Panzer team there, virtually 2. Panzer squad there without Panzer Rex being shot to bits with the T-34 from 6. While they are Panzer Grenadiers, it's not because they're like, you know, bulletproof like tanks. Fun fact. If you didn't know that one. Black Panzer, of course, quite solid versus infantry. But not so solid against tanks like the T-34 from 6. But admittedly, if it's a really badly made T-34 from 6, theoretically could have a shot. Like at the early starts of the war during Barbarossa, some flak crews were actually able to knock out T-34s because some of them, depending on the factory they're made in, were actually made like large cast iron belts, which meant once rapid autocannon fire rang against them, basically it would turn, you know, cause the tank to ring inside, basically forcing the crew out, as they'd either go insane or I think die from it. So yeah, fun fact there on that one. And it's worth keeping in mind, depending on which factory a T-34 was made in, the quality of the T-34 could vary drastically. There you go, flak pan being pursued by the T-34 from 6, Panzer team moving up here. I would recommend another Panzer squad eventually, or at least more assault grenadiers, also to upgrade this one. Though for now, the priority for Rajan should definitely be armor. Now the T-34 from 6 here for Basset and the Red Army in the south here. Rajan seizing the southern victory point back for Deutschland. Flak Panzer moving through the front of it here with its 30mm flak. Now the T-34-6 of Basset. Interesting enough, he's not going for any T-35s, but obviously at what currently presented to him, he doesn't really need T-35s. He's mostly just dealing with a pair of Panzerschrecks and an Ostwind. Not exactly T-35 territory. Like, you know, imagine him ringing up stuff, go, this is Comrade Basset, frontline commander of the light little tiny Belarusian front. Yes, the Germans have flak panzer. I need big T-30-45s and IS-2. Why are you laughing? No, I'm serious. Okay. Anyways, Rajan bring up the Stug 3G. Constantly northwards for the northern victory point here. Panzer team up north here a bit on its own. Bit surprised he's not keeping close like some of his main forces, but again, I think part of the issue is just he doesn't have a lot of infantry. Panzer they're closing on the ace level. Of course, in front of T-34s from 6s, they're also closing in on just being buried alive very fast. Stug almost done here. Flak Panzer southwards. Pioneers bring up also with the support package. Stug 3G almost done there for Rajan. T-34 moving forwards. Almost hitting the Telemine! But there you go. Stug has arrived for Deutschland. Und zur 5th SS Panzerdivision. Attached from nearby, imagine Stug battery. It's not uncommon for a good part of the war, roughly, I think, roughly, well, again, same bit period again, where it's like, you know, German armored units and infantry units lost a battalion. They also lost, in a sense, an armored battalion as well. They typically had 3 armored battalions, but they lost 1. And again, a sort of, shall we say, trick the German army and then pulled off was they'd actually then apply a Stug battalion or battery as a 3rd Panzer battalion. I think the Waffen-SS would also have that to an extent as well there. Fun fact, though, I think sort of roughly through 1944 they kind of stopped doing that again. It's even there, I guess they started running out of Stugs too. Anyways, T-34 from 6 number 3 here for Basset. But still, another fun fact there. In fact, again, a lot of drastic transformations happened after, again, those losses in 1942. It's also where, you know, they began using the terms like Grenadier, Panzer Grenadiers, and so on there as well. As a sort of morale booster. Good shot from the Stug down, the T-34 from 6. On the south, you've got the Flak Panzer and the Pioneers moving it steadily. Field gun there flanking the Stug, but doesn't hit it. Panzer X, they're hitting the T-34-6, doing quite a bit of damage. This Stug missed, though. Rajan is definitely unorthodox. In other means, definitely not metagame. Which doesn't mean necessarily it's bad. Some people, of course, will assume that means it's bad. It just means, like, you know, you're kind of out on your own. You really have to figure out stuff on your own as well. And things can also go very sour very fast. Because, again, you don't really have a lot of, shall we say, general experience to rely on. Black Panzer there, racing out of there. Getting some damage on the T-34 from 6, but there's a good chance the T-34 finishes off here unless he gets very lucky, which he did. That's impressive. Stug with the flanking here. And there we go. We got IL-2 Sturming attacks loaded called in here by Basset versus the Stug when the Flak Panzer's on the field. But there you go. Second T-34 coming up here. Machine gun inside there, holding up Panzer's routed here. Stug pushed back, saving the other T-34 from 6. Close call here for Basset and the Red Army. Black Panzer there firing at the Sturmovik here. Once going up, the machine needs to vacate the premises. I still think Rajan would benefit strongly from another infantry squad. Again, Panzer Grenadiers, Assault Grenadier squad. Either these two should consider. He's also got the manpower right now for it, so I think those would be very good additions. Up north here, troops being sold down here with the info 2 East level there for Rajan. Thumbs up. South, the other machine holding up the third advance there. Need to fix up the Ostend Flak Panzer. Very, very close to Veteran 2. Engineers are routed. Assault Grenadier sitting out here alongside the Panzer Grenadier. And a third machine gun? Okay. I feel like that's a bit excessive when you could do with more infantry first, or, you know, also getting them a veteran squad leader. I'm not entirely sure why he isn't doing that either. Again, Rajan is clearly his own man here, so, you know, he is no meta slave. It holds no power over him. He is a free, independent Wehrmacht player. Smoke grenade there deployed. Actually, thumbs up to that. Another T-34-6 for Basset. He's just churning out those T-34s, which honestly isn't a bad idea, though. It definitely means that Rajan's going to need a lot more anti-tank assets. Which means more Stugs. Maybe more Panzerschrecks too, actually. I certainly wouldn't upgrade a Veteran 3 Panzer squad for that. It would just be a waste. An absolute waste. There's Stug moving up against the horde of T-34s from 6s being slowly assembled here by Basset. And the center machine catching the film crew, making short work of it. Aisland machines do some intense damage against the film. It really does a lot of damage because here's the thing. Field gun crews cannot be suppressed, and the thing is, units suppressed actually take less damage. So meaning, you can sort of really get an idea of how much damage an MU-42 actually does, or any machine gun does, by firing at an anti-tank gun. Fun fact. Of course, the field gun just bombard machine gun, kinda undercutting it. Black Panther there gaining 82, thumbs up. Another Stug 3G here for Rajan, sehr gut. Both T-34s and 6 here for Basset. Machine up against the Indians in the south. Heading from the northern point, we got the control against the Assault Grenadier. T-34-6 moving up here. Someone's called it with the T-34, taking a bit of a nasty loss here from the T-34. South here could try and extend to the southern field point. I would certainly recommend that. Second Stug halfway down here for Rajan. Basset with just a fat chunk of T-34s and 6s parked a bit south there. Flak moving at the centre. Panzerschrecks, Flak Panther firing in the sandbags. Most not really hitting. There we go, going for the southern field point. Stug's at the ready. T-34 trying to the Stug here, gaining veterans one. Second Stug ready. Need to get the Panzer team down. It says Stug being engaged aggressively. Panzer team moving up here. Stug disengaging there. Got a lot of Panzer hits. It could take out the T-34 with a Stug shot. Gets it. The T-34 combusts here. Others T-34 trying from north. Panzer getting up some hits. The second Stug ready. First Stug moving up here. Close to 82 there. Shoots almost there. Machine gun popping the armor. Piercing incendiary rounds here. Ripping through the T-34. At least attempting to. Second Stug arriving here though for Deutschland. Almost got the sun fuel point. Machine gun heading northwards. Backed up by the other machine gun. Creating overlapping fields of fire there. Bit of elite frogging. Smoke grenade there. Thumbs up to Rajan. Actually making pretty good use of that ability. T-34 rushing entry into the machine gun gewehr there. Gonna need some Panzerschreck or Stug here in the south.
Our territory is falling into enemy hands.
Rajan slowly gaining more and more control here with his network of machine guns, Panzerschrecks, and Sturmgeschütze. I still would recommend some more infantry, and Basset could also do with more infantry. He's got just 2 conscript squads. I imagine he's just going to make up for that difference with, well, T-34s. Panzerschreck team need to retreat. Stug going for that T-34 in the south. Decent shot. North here, small platoon they're holding up north here. Mixed. Mortar for Basset to try and break through Rajan's network of Maschinengewehren and Sturmgeschütze. Could lose another T-34 to the middle of the Stug. There we go. Sehr gut, sehr gut. Soldiers on the right, the conscript. Hey, we've got another wipe. Basset is really taking some heavy hits here. So there we go. 6-man squad. Thumbs up. Another reason he really should have done it sooner is because it also means the grenade assault becomes better, because suddenly it's not just 5 guys throwing grenades, it's 6 guys. Coming up here, Rajan there with his now large infantry complement, not by a lot, but still larger, is certainly starting to make some impacts. Plus again, their assault troops, they do have some assault-oriented abilities. With some bigger booms. So what will Rajan do next? I mean, he's still got manpower filling, I still recommend some more infantry. As opposed to, he may try and go for like tier 4 next. Coh2 for Basset, realizing he needs even more artillery here to deal with this fascist menace that is being deployed against him. No machine guns in the Stug, bit of an oversight. Austin fling back, Coh2 halfway done. Flares against the Maschinengewehr. Maximum Engineer setting up, Mortar there blasting a bit as well. So what is Rajan's next move? Because I really can't figure it out. I mean, he's so far being, you know, to a degree somewhat unpredictable and unconventional. And to an extent, it's kind of like, you know, ends up what I'm doing, which I would do is like go for a bunch of Stugs, add some Panzer Grenadiers, but so a lot of the other stuff surrounding that is a bit more like, you know, what is he thinking? Part because I'd try and aim in half tracks, and certainly I'd have more infantry than just 3 squads. Flak Panzer there slowing fixed up. Panzer teaming up pretty aggressively. Oh dear, the Coh2 could get spotted and get knocked out! And it did! Oh, Basset! You lost your Coh2 to Panzerschrecks. Try explaining that one to stuff, guy. This is Comrade Basset of the tiny Belarusian front. We lost the Coh2 rocket launcher to Panzerschrecks. Yes, the fascists employed highly advanced cloaking technology and somehow got fairly close to them. Camouflage? That's what it's called? Yeah. Anyways, 3rd Stug for Rajan, truly a believer in the power of the Sturmgeschütze. 2 thumbs up. Blackpink Norfolk's here though, without a Stug or anything on that to tank support. I feel like this is a bit risky there. Machine gun being attacked with the T-34 from 6th, 3rd Stug. Almost done here for Rajan, for Deutschland. Clearly relying heavily on that Stug battery. So I'm guessing the higher ups in the 5th SS don't trust them with their tanks. Apparently they do trust enough to lead a company. Indonesia suppressed by the Maschinengewehr, Stug's falling back, Coh2 again for Basset with specific instructions to say clear people in camouflage uniforms. Might want to pull back that Flak Panther gets turned to scrap metal by the Soviets. He's going to lose it, I think. Machine gun at the center. Bold move here, launching some infantry moves as well here, slowly getting ready to reduce the center points here for Basset. Instant opportunity to be pretty good here for Rajan as well. Wreck mortar finding the machine gun, doesn't quite hit. We can see that Basset falling back, and we got a 4th Panzer squad here on top of the triple Stugs. He did lose the Ostwind, but who cares? He's got triple Sturmgeschütze.
Enemy forces are capturing our supplies.
He's got the power of Deutschland between his fingertips now. The soldiers charging in and going for a flank here and gap in Bassett's line there. Not bad. Grenade assault here, chucking them in violently. Maximum crew getting out for most of the grenades impact at all. T-Fed for flying where the Stuks should get a bit more active here to support the frontline Truppen against the Soviet Stalinist machine here in the South. Panzer with the engineers executing them here in cold blood. The ace level of Panzergrenadier Blitzerkreuzträger absolutely murdered the engineers there. So Rajan is staging a comeback based off Panzergrenadiers, Stuks, and a lot of MG42s. Truly a man of the future. Katyusha flying away there. Now you want to have to retreat those assault grenadiers before they assault straight into hell. Still going for the T-Fed forces going south, fighting for the southern field point. I think Basset, though, may want to reassess his battle tactics because they're clearly reliant on someone not going for a lot of Panzer Grenadiers and Stuks. Ladnung on the Basset machine gun. Almost wiped it there. Stuk gaining red T2. Schutzen added. Thumbs up. Still, he should add a Pinman machine gun, though. He should also get out of range of that field gun. So yeah, Rajan is slowly but surely gaining control of most of the map against his opponent. Stuk being fired at it by the field gun. Max being routed here in the center with bung grenades and, of course, copious amounts of MG42 fire. Engineers suppressed here. We got 122 with 253. So what is Rajan's next move? Fourth Stuk? I'd love to see that. I'm not so sure that's actually Rajan's battle plan. I could be wrong, though. I could be wrong. I admit that. He could be going for that. Oh, he's going for an Ostwind. I don't know. Part of me thinks he'd go for a Panther from Waldier, but oh well.
Enemy forces are attempting to capture our territory.
And we got a T-35 for Basset, finally able to convince High Command that things are getting a bit more serious. Yes, this is Comrade Basset of tiny Belarusian front. The situation's getting much uglier here. Can I please have those T-35s now? Fine. But if you lose them, it's the gulag for you. And your pet dog. Not the dog. And he's got the northern victory point here. Flak Pant's almost done there for Rajan. MG forces the engineers. T-35 almost done there for Basset. Ready to unleash Stalin sledgehammer against Rajan. At least attempt to. Feeling caught here with the machine gun. Assault gets shouting over the MP40s. Ace Love, the veteran squad leader, just ripping through the crew. No, they're going to hit the mine! And the field gun somehow does not suffer any damage from that. Impressive. And the center troops being mauled here by machine gun fire, and of course the Panzer Grenadiers. Stuks remaining reserve in the southeast. Smoke grenade deployed. T-Fed forming 40 in the center here. Hold up north. T-Fed and 40 going for the assault grenadiers. Stuk remaining reserve with the machine coming up as well. In the center, machine gun crew gets evaporated here by Bassett's firepower. In the south, Maxim going for the sun victory point. Bassett's, or Rajan, seems paralyzed here by the sudden flurry of activity and aggression here from Basset and the Red Army. Second Flak Panther, the remaining reserve as well here. How will Rajan deal with this sudden explosion, this burst of Bolshevism barging through his front line here? Stuk's about to get swarmed here. Need to be a bit careful. Need some more Stuks to assist that one. And there's the T-35. Second Stuk there. Could actually load up a heat shell, maybe. Ultimately, want to outlet machine to find someone else in the T-34. There we go. T-35 diving in hard against the two Stuks, which is definitely a great recipe for losing a T-35. There we go. Machine gun, though, it destroyed, annihilated. There's an H-Marine crew wiped. But the victory points are rapidly falling as the Red Army under Bassett's command. Stuk going for it, though. Charging it right past the field guns. And without machine guns, that is a particularly not great move for Rajan. I do, admire his courage here. His faith in the Sturmgeschütz. But I do think this is a sort of spot where he really wants some infantry to assist. The problem is the infantry's all the way back here. He's about to lose the Ostwind and the front line here, and he might lose the Stooks if he doesn't, you know, mind his tactics. So that was a pretty quick rout here for Rajan, and a pretty big push here for Basset. Stook, they need to disengage. Being body, but the film's about to lose his near Vetchney 3 Stook. 9! Oh, why is it always this Vetchney 2 Stooks that die first? Monster. Anyways, and he's being swamped back here as the German troops slowly push forwards here. Rajan's on the offensive, sort of. But this time, Basset does appear a bit more ready, a bit more prepared for this influx of grenades, assault fire, and just German insults. Panzergrenadier pushing forward, machine gun support these Stooks, machine guns being held in as well there. The Ace Panzergrenadier, the Ritterkreuzträger moving up here. It's the second wave of the assault. First wave's about to get absolutely pummeled into oblivion though by Basset. The south here, flak Panzergrenadier repaired. Stook remaining reserve here. Could go for another Stook now. I'd certainly recommend that. T-4 moving out and sending, got the finishing southwards here. Flak Panzer nears, Pioneers pushing forwards well here. We got 76 to 212 here. T-4 routed. Basset field guns firing the Flak Panzer, knocking it out here. Another single blow there to Rajan. And it's the 5th SS Panzer Division. 7th SS Panzergrenadier Kompanie. North, you got the T-4 hiding up there, doing some self-repairs. Panzer pushing forwards, bomb grenade off there, almost hanging on the knees by accident. Field and crew there wiped. Panzer team arriving, popping a bomb grenade on the Maxim crew. Almost got the T-34 there too, but falls a bit short there of the full... Oh, Monty? That'd be the full Irvin of Rommel. Anyways. Maxim has the MG42 field bombarding again here, employing them efficiently to blast away through the German hardpoints here, which in this case is the MG42s. Push back there. Up north, T-34 lining up for deep flank here against Rajan. Very sharp there. Down to just 2 Stooks now, but he still has a fair amount of assault troops. But again, the efficient use of Maxim is making it a bit harder for Rajan to deploy them to their full extent here. Stooks about to get flanked. Got the Panzer teaming up here with Panzer 6. Stook there, take a hit. Could line up the heat shells, but for other reasons, Rajan is not a big fan of heat shells. In the south, Morton is going here for the southern point. Panzer's moving about here. Maxim holding up here. T-34 falling back. Troops reinforcing healing, yeah. Center falling there to Deutschland. Stook being fired at, but not quite hitting. Got 76 for 183. Panzer flanking from north straight to the Maxim. Smoke grenade attempted. Does work out, sort of. I think he's planning something else now, or rather than a third Stug. Might be a Panzer IV Model J here. Meanwhile, Basset going for another T-34-85. Got the assault wing forwards again here, 15 kills. Panzer IV there, regular. Why not the Model J? Guess he was intending to, but perhaps he wasn't aware you had to go for the headquarters to get that one in. Hell, I've made that mistake myself from time to time. So don't blame Rajan for making a mistake. If that is, in fact, the nature of his mistake. We don't actually know if it is a mistake or not from his side. In that sense, it's a bit hard to say there. I would assume it's a mistake. Panzer team is the T-35 up north, need to retreat soon. T-35 almost done there for Basset and the Red Army. Panzer right in the corner for Rajan. We got the Ace Panzer with 33 kills moving up for Deutschland. T-34 being repaired. 85 also doing about there. Probably waiting a new transmission for that one, as T-34s had big issues with the transmissions. In fact, while people like to talk about Panthers and Tigers issues, it was so bad with the T-34s they would commonly write to battle with spare transmissions on the back of them. Ready from the T-35 blasting out half the Panzer squad there. External penalty machine there to the Stugs. Bit of a shame there. 76 to 136. I mean, Rajan's holding out surprisingly well, all things considered. Maximus the Pioneers flares off. Good use of flares by the way here by Basset. Thumbs up. Very nice ability there, of course. Pentagon is being hammered here by the T-35. Assault is charging in from the south, going for that victory point. We got 76 on a 12. Grenade assault here. Almost got them. Stu going for that T-35, though. With the field gun nearby, the Stuk has to be very, very careful, and Roy should call in another Stuk to assist. Panther 4 is sort of more up north here. Pushing from the south here, applying overwhelming superiority in the south here. Local superiority to this versus Rajan. Could be a victory in detail here for Basset if Rajan is too slow to respond here to the assault. That sort of appeared to be the case here for Rajan versus Basset. Field gun bombarding, we've got 76 versus 88. 85. Panther full swing to the field gun there. Charging in. Feel like, I don't know what's going on with that one. At risk cost when the Panther was not careful. Down to half health. Shot bounces there, a bit lucky. Stu charging in against the T-34 from 6. Almost got it. Almost 32. In fact, both of the Stuks almost 32. Which also means they're almost also nearly dead. I think most people again throw them away right around bit 22. Yeah, he's about to throw that one away. Misses though, and Field can knock it out. Quite a blow there. Panther pushing forwards. Lost the ace Panther squad here. Suddenly things are turning absolutely pear-shaped here for Rajan. A rather scattered and chaotic response here has made his forces much recently just destroyed here by Basset, and I think at this point this could very quickly manage to GG here for Rajan. His forces being obliterated. He's lost his assault grenadiers, he's lost his ace Panther grenadiers, he's lost his Stug, and meanwhile in comparison Basset still has plenty of machine guns, field guns, and crucially T-34s. It's looking pretty bad here for Rajan all of a sudden. Basset is on the offensive course now, sensing victory in the air. While he's burning German tanks, he charges ahead here, assailing the fascist positions under Rajan. Wipe the machine gun crew there. Yeah, it does look a complete collapse here for Rajan. One fatal mistake here in the late game has seemingly cost him the game. There you go. Rajan surrenders. A loss for Deutschland, a victory for the Red Army. A fierce battle for fighting, but some certainly less than typical Wehrmacht action. So GG, game over. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you get, like, subscribe, and share, and comment, all that. Consider donating or Patreon. This is Imperial Links, and cheers, and see you all tomorrow for another episode. Bye.